Rastafari. Reverence and thanksgiving in this hour. Come let us pray. Jehovah God, the Rastafari, Adonai God, the Rastafari, set the Lord most high, King Edward VII, Adonai God, the Rastafari, Emmanuel I, Selassie, the Rastafari, the I am, Black Kabbalah, King Edward VII, Adonai God, the Rastafari, set the Lord most high, omnipotent high, the Rastafari, the Lord of hosts. This is his name, Haile Selassie, the Rastafari, Daniel God, the Rastafari, Haile Selassie, Selah. Thanksgiving. Yes, prayers are very important. Prayers are internal. Prayers are outward same way. Within the self and extending the self to some different levels, see it. So one have to pray in whatever forms we can, in whatever ways we can, to gain strength. Seeing? Teaching of His Majesty is very important also, because most ones don't want to closely examine the teaching of His Majesty, Kalamawi Haile Selassie. Ones want to form his own opinion and their own opinion and think of their rights. But Haile Selassie is divine and we tread in his footsteps. Haile Selassie says, the growth of a people is complex and interrelated. Man must be educated. He cannot come to grips or cope with or understand the modern world unless he has been thought about it. He must be assured of minimum of economic security. He cannot concern himself with matters going beyond the day-to-day satisfaction of his physical needs, unless he is fed, clothed, sheltered. Hungry man can't place Jah. Can belly go crawl and him go think and white squall go reach him, Even you go chanting and, full up, your meds not depend on that. Most mans might think about where him next meal go come from, see. Man have to think about where him get set. So we need infrastructure to set. Because even a man come to chanting, at least food is available. You have some principles like what even the Ethiopian Orthodox Church have, and you have a meal same way and some ways, and some welfare situation. So the growth of a people is complex and interrelated, each one interrelated to the next one. Man must be educated. It is not tail education like how man say, and everything is from the tail. He cannot come to grips with or understand the modern world unless he is educated or has been taught about it. So who learn should educate others. So His Majesty say, he must be assured of minimum of economic security, minimum. If you have a gates, if you have some food, if you have some clothes, you don't want to be no beggar, you don't want to be no pimp. Man say flat-foot hustling, yeah, we say that same way, but you don't want to live by flat-foot hustling, but it's guaranteed to you. Because when you go out there, you make a bread today, tomorrow you don't make no bread, you go wonder. I have my brethren one time, he tell himself, like, where me live, I couldn't find no food, All my neighbors are watch, why I put in a fire pot, you know what I do? Light up him fire and put a little, what you call bun pan or butter pan, or cheese pan, because he couldn't afford a pot. And he put scallion in it. My mom make a pot with just pure scallion water him drink, so. Sufferation there. But man, I go talk about modern days and society and politics. And I'm hungry, and I no energy to do that. So I'm going to think about is survival, day by day. So we will ensure that, it's collective security. We look around and see who is in need and sort of welfares, and we pass your brethren and heal him, and how you live, brethren, how you live, Rasta, how you good. We are survived today. We are surviving today. You must survive tomorrow because the economic stand up. You do not speak of His Majesty. It is only when man becomes master of his fate, he is able to determine his own destiny. That he can be free from the fears of inferiority, such as individuals stand respected by all. We are determined to be masters of our fate. Yeah? Owners of our wealth and capable of removing the objective dark from our continent. What matters is that we have to be masters of our own destiny. Great Bob Marley say, I rule my destiny. But when you look at the maths of it and you see how Bob Marley step within 36 years of him trying, you don't know, say. His desire is to rule a destiny, but I don't think Bob desired to step so early from earth, so. Easy to rule a destiny. It's not easy to be masters of your fate. You have a crystal ball sometimes to look into it. Or you have ever meds to tell us, don't go this one, don't go this one. For insight into the next minute or the next second or the next thought, or come and say, step this up. Brethren say, come, we could try this up. A voice say, no, don't try. And you read and you listen. Something will happen out this way every day. Something going out this way every see. You know, see it. So one of the wise when it comes to journey and traditions and leaps and bounds of this trad. Someone say Rasta inferior. When you say black man is not a complete man or the African is not a human being, To prove them wrong. Or 1/3 of a human being or 1/5 of a human being. We prove them wrong. Many things we have proven them wrong as being black people and African people and within this consciousness, see it. So. We lick inferior complex, some of us who can do that. Every man born equal. Masters of your own faith, yes, with Rastafari. You have to master that. And don't be frustrated when hard times reach you. You're here to compete, because Majesty religion is personal and the state is for all. I don't know, Africa is not the dark continent, but it's a continent that has been exploited. You see that too? His Majesty say again, there's no room for laggards. But the reward is great if there is unity for collective security. Yeah, collective security is a big word. Yeah, everyone has say collective security. But collective security and unity work together. It's a hand-in-hand thing. So we go survive. You don't want no man to come hold on the thing, and come badmouth it. So whosoever will may come. Whosoever is handpicked. It's not a organized thing. The reward is great if there's unity. Unity, so will I say. They don't know, say. It's all for one and one for all. Working in this manner, there is no failure. So it is not an individual thing. But the learners growing up say, every man for himself and I Selassie is for I and I all. But I say not that the talking in our work. Because within that there's no collective security, because every man goes stand for himself and cause him have money, him have clothes, him have car, him have work. But same every man must chant the Rastafari, so the hungry man for chant the Rastafari. Every man don't live nowhere for chant it. I'm hungry and him have no vehicle and him can't wear no silk and him have to wear champat and wear rags and His Majesty royal dressed, yeah. So we know decent dressing and garment up to standard, you know. Man try to wisi try the same way. Rogo try the same way. Yeah, we see that. Bushman try the same way, we see that too. Rasta is not no more in the hills, you know, deep hills and valleys. We now have to hide. Rasta is on the front line of things. So the man who in the hills are come on the front. We don't see them. We don't know them, you know. Yeah. We seek at this moment to determine whether we are going to chart the course of our destiny. King man, you go chart the course of your destiny if you don't set things in right. You go have your hands up in the air and you know what you do. You have to go to school, you have to educate yourself. You have to plan your family, you have to save some money. You have to have a job, you have to have a skill. All those things count. You have to utilize your talents. It's only with your talents you can chart the course of your destiny. It's only with your ability, you know, you have to realize or come to the understanding what are your talents, what are your abilities. What can I do? I'm a musician, I'm an engineer, I'm a medical doctor, I'm a lawyer. Yeah. I have to be something. I'm a carpenter, I'm a tradesman. There's nothing wrong with being a tradesman. Tradesman earn a lot of money. Tradesman build communities. He's a skill man. So you master your skill, you know, see it. It is no less important that we know whence we came, and awareness of our past is essential. So you have to know where you come from to where you are going. You have to know the past. It is essential to know the past. That make you who you are. That make you Rastafari. That make you African. How we grow up, you know, when we look around, not many of us can know grandparents and great-grandparents, and maybe some are privileged to know. When you look on your wall, there's enough pictures of those who've gone before. You can say, yes, a grandmother, grandpa, that they had this qualification. Some of us grew up, you only know mother and father. Some of us not even know no father. We only know mother. Some of us not even know mother. We only know grandmother. But the mother give us away to grandparents, or father step gone. Just sow some seeds and yeah. So being Rastafari, you still have to search within yourself and see who you are, find out your roots and where you're coming from, so you can build on that. What is your bloodline? You have to know awareness of all these things. Remember, we keep saying, father and mother forsake you, the Rastafari go and take you up. Because father and mother no Rasta, uncle no Rasta, cousins no Rasta, only you. So you have to build a Rasta foundation. No. But then, it's not easy. Because one of the time Rasta was conned, projected from the dungle heap. You since Rasta now is on a red carpet, you know. Different things happening. You can go university, you can go college, you can get a job. Yeah. So you have to build on that. Build on that strength there. So who go university have to pull resources, you know, who have jobs have to pull resources. But some of that sometimes it's difficult because you have to pay bills there. You want a vehicle, you want a gates to live in. So you know, Rasta employment neither, you know, very, very, very little Rasta employ Rasta. Rasta no business place, Rasta no structural economic development. They will compete in the general marketplace. Sometimes it's hard. More time you get liquor, come and say, yo, it's a ganja smoker, you know. And a man who smoke ganja around and so on. Even when you smoke ganja, you label as a ganja smoker. So he said. you know, fight that. So it can reach you. You know, see, you don't know laxman around here too. You know, no man who says this is God because Jesus business we are dealing with, so. Them things are serious. So when you look at it, the Rasta don't create employment for Rasta. We're going to strengthen the nation. We have youth here, I have a couple of youth see me and then go to university and then graduate with them degree. But no Rasta do the different employment. Employ them. It's a frustration you have your youth and grand youth and you find say you have to go work for the system where exploit them and give them starvation wages and all the work for the organization, then man not try to set nothing. They don't build no school, they don't build no university, they don't build no college. You know, see it. So all the future set, you know, set too nice, and that those things we have to look into. Because within the past, that did not exist. Rasta couldn't go to school. Rasta couldn't get employed. It's dirty Rasta, we don't care you. Them thing there. Now we pass that stage there. Of college Rasta, university Rasta, Rasta in societies, you know. Maybe we take another generation to build the economy. Maybe we take another generation to build the college and institutions, but yet, if you get caught up in the system and work for the society, you despise and reject you. We are going to leave, you know, see it. No, there's another reasoning. Rastafari is the political ideology for change. That is the prerequisite for cultural resistance and liberation. Who said that? Professor Horace Campbell. You can look on it away then. Rastafari is a political ideology for change. That's the same non-political. Him non-partisan. And his politics, we don't know. And it's a divide between him and that. But how can you stay out of the system? I want the system to help you. What change can you implement in the system so that the Rastafari nation get benefit? How can you be a policy maker? So within the organized and centralized, you have to organize and centralize politically too. For those who have their ability. Those who master political science and law. Yeah, we call upon them ones because them know them. We know they are there. We have a law degree and you have a degree in political science and you still work for the system who exploit you. What change can you make? What can you implement for those who are in need? Political ideologies make changes. Because when I say, within the divinity of His Majesty, it is still political. It is not a normal talk. It's a cultural revolutionary change that most men look upon and say, well, son, I'm mad. Can a man be God? Yeah, I know. But the man who the ones, as what the prophecies say, who no say Jah come in the flesh is an antichrist. Because no dopey business around here. No spirit business around here. We don't know about that. Living man we are dealing with. So Professor Horace Campbell right. Political ideology for change. You're not a culture man. You can't sit down and be too kitty and burn too fire. You need stronger resistance than that. You need to go into the stage of policy making. Rastafari says, for real, we are government within the government. You say, yeah. So we are external government outside of Ethiopia. And run our affairs. But can we run our affairs by just chanting? Can we run our affairs by just keeping one bing into the next bing into the next bing and just chanting? Yeah, you go chant and tear on the walls of Babylon, you see that? Because Babylon have to come down. Cut it down, Babylon, you know that. So you cut it down, Babylon, who are you going to build now? With the technocrats and engineers and the scientists rebuild. The Rastafari nation. We're the ones who are in farming. We're the industries to provide food, clothes and shelter and infrastructure. Yeah. So it's serious. Or we not see that. See, plenty of people have needs within certain age group, within the age group of 60, 70, 80, 90. Them ones there, survival limited. Nothing of them around there, set. Well, the youths them can enjoy themselves in the car. What? The youths are strong. The youths have abilities, youths have talents, and can revel and dance and chant. And when you reach 50, when you step to 60, what you have put on. You have a house, you have a car, you have family, you have children, you have grandchildren. It's a once a man, twice a child. The older you get, your movement's limited, your resources limited. Certain times, certain jobs you can't do, certain steps you can't tread because of body deteriorate and mind get slow and you have to set something. And you set something for your children and grandchildren, they will walk out left you. We see that. Your mother and father forsake you, your children can forsake you the same way. So who go take you? So you have a structure for food, clothes and shelter. Yeah. That have got set. House and mansion have to look into that. If first of all make we set that. Every man have them talent, every man have them ability. No man have pool resources. Well, few pool resources have to take back that. With these limited resources, these are collective resources. We can provide security from start. So you born, you come up, 5-year-old, and go to Rasta school. 11-year-old, you go to a Rasta college. 11 going up to 20-something, Rastafari University. But you don't have that. You have a system, same way, Babylon system, when you come out, Rastafari employment is there. So if you can't provide the school, provide the employment. Don't make you them come up and then have to work for your system and compete and them can excel. How many ones can create employment as Rastafari? But look how many Rastafari work for the society. Who hire and fire. You know, Zane. So, it is practical approach we are take. As a colonial being, we are entrapped in the thinking of the colonizer. We lose ourselves, we become prisoners within ourselves. For we are them or ourselves. Our Franz Fanon said that, He say, as a colonial being, They're entrapped in thinking, in the thinking of the colonizer. So same so the colonizer think. So you go think. We are part of this colonial system. So we lose ourselves and become prisoners within ourselves. Rastafari said they are anti-colonial. Yeah, foundation that born colonialism. So what is the alternative? Tear down Babylon wall and colonial wall, so you need your university, you need your school, you need your employment. You need an alternative route of survival. Are you tear down colonialism number one then? With the Rasta bakery there, with the Rasta food source there, with the Rasta trucking system, with the Rasta transportation system, with the Rastafari lawmakers. It's still colonial man make a law. A few minister structure they use. Because we don't have no alternative to the colonial system we are tear down. You know see it? So we become prisoners within ourselves. We wonder where we are going. It's a conflict. We don't have no alternative. So the energy right, you know. Because you know what colonization have done to the African people. They could not be a part of that. But in the same sense of it, the crux of the matter, you have to set up the alternative. So with all these youths that you have and grandchildren and so on, go to school, they learn to become independent and self-sufficient, and they learn to become a part of the Rastafari nation of development that create employment for Rastafari themselves through educational systems. You know, tell me say it's not education and man who have the brain and the ability to mash up Rastafari. We don't tired of hearing that, you know. You see me? Yeah. So them things that we need to look on. Once you receive political independence, it will be the stepping stone for economic development. So tell me now, without economic development, how will we sustain our liberty? It's a modern world. We come out of the hills and the jungle, and in the street, and we flat foot out and the tenement yard and high-rise buildings and all them things. And we take taxi go to work and buy gas and food for the pot. But we no create or we no provide. Anything can happen over the long time. Any card can play. Or we really label them. And you make them. You don't know what they go on there. With the Rastafari scientists, they have to make sure say authentic Rastafari food is on the market. We look into these things. The guy is saying it's a serious reasoning. The serious state of affairs. The serious stage of development. There I know. Let's think about it. The Rastafari live it itinerary. More blessings. Yes, I give thanks once again. I saying, I look upon some things, you know, and what the Asians them say. The Asians are custodians of the faith, and within Wisemind and Ivor standing beside top of them really say, you know. Because them only trod and go through the fire and brimstone and the lava and the men and people and overcome, purified, you know. The ancient Congo water said the church of the Nyabingi is the person. And I serve in a congregation serve in a congregation which is the tabernacle, built by man, built by hand. Church of the Almighty is not built by hand, not built by man. There is saying to the tabernacle, this is not really the church, it's just the group, the place where you gather and chant. And now is the living church, living temple. The realizes come through internally within the physical space, within the self of self. The realizes come through. The tabernacle is just a gathering place. And we can see it, because more time you go to the tabernacle and it's just mixed vibes, and I want no reverence, and man smoke different something, and man different meditations and different energy of flow. So wherein a man come in the same way and him head no dead so. Different medicine depending, you know. So within the eye self is the church. Within the eye self. This is the eyes just go up, you know. Most man come in the tabernacle and does a lip service same way, and because him can chant and him can pray along and you know the psalms, him can read them out from his head, recite them. Within him, you know, no levels, you know, no meds. You see it. So let the eye physical be the dwelling place of the Almighty and not the building built by man. But that's right there. Or someone who come in the tabernacle but him not say no something. He just sat up. And all the internal meds and free up himself. Chanting within himself and him not utter nothing. Where when you have the talky, them just a talk and a chant and different levels in the pan. So the tabernacle is just a gathering place of ones and ones. Come for chant and all the meds. But the real church is within the eye self. The heretical realms is within the eye self. Saying? Yeah. So we have to look on the things, man. We have to look on the Baba Shanti said it the same way. Prophets, priests, and king. So I really decide there. The prophet, you know, him tried statically. But look on the state, I tell you what they go down and well-robed and turban upon. I'll show you how the state's supposed to set. The priest is tried churchically. He was a priest. They saw him there. Anything in church affairs is him that. And you have the king governmentally. I tell you how things supposed to set, I tell you how things supposed to run, with decree for pass, and so it's prophet, priest, and the king. So every man function according to his ability and his capacity and his role. And when the role them no overlap, each of the role them shared. Each man have him duty. With them is a prophet, with them is a priest, with them is a king. According to him set him things them. So you have to respect a man in his own order and the duty him carry out. There in the Nabing is the 7 priests, including the high priest. And the duties of the 7 priests is not defined. Wherein you say the duty of the high priest is to supervise the other 7 priests, or the other 6 priests, because the number 7 is him. This is still a dismantlement of all of that same way. So when you look on the churchical order of the Nyabingi, that when set, but I need to reset. I want to see no one around the governmental order of the Nyabingi, unlike the Bobo Shanti. governmental department to man run that. You know, see it. And you're the prophet who will do statistical work can tell you what's going on. How things supposed to set. You know, mix up and blend the business. Everyone have a duty. And call upon him duty. So you look close into all the mansions and organizations that we see how them set and we say, we need a coming together of who can manage the statistical within the structure of Rastafari. No matter which emblem him fly, no matter how him color set, no matter how him robe, no matter how him fly him locks. It's one Rastafari. You must decide that. And the church and state and divide and roll thing. So you go reach Mount Zion. But the chance of Mount Zion are the whole of place where no sin can go there. But we see say. You say Ethiopia is Zion, the physical country and the physical land, and you see problem down there. So you have to have that down at Zion. So you have to rethink that too. Enough of the things that we learn. If we look at a real country with rules and regulation and governance, laws. But if you can say Ethiopia is Zion, you can go do what you feel for do and listen to nobody because milk and honey land you will go. Learn say not so. But biblically the Asian them will say so. That's what them learn biblically. But practically, and so. You go in a man country, you have paperwork to show, you have laws to follow, you have rules to abide by. You know, see, it's matter to say you have to live by the rules of the country that you live in. You can, in a one man country, you create your own rules and regulations and them things. Yeah, you can do that, yeah, but you still have to know to the extent of what you do that. You separate yourself. You see, it's enough things. And that's how the king will come in. Governmental thing, no, king business, that, and him sit down and reason and him on the throne room and heads of government and him write him letters and him supervise and him get things done. So we don't see the divide man I try to create within Bobo Shanti and then you have Bingi and who wrong this and who dead this. Each man having duty. Each man having responsibility. You can't go Zion with a carnal mind, you know. You can't go Zion with a bangarang. It have to be clean, right around the Itesfull and greens. Yeah, so we know all those things and we see how things go. So it have to be a conference. And look on each man as according to his worth. And where we divide. And someone come tell us you can't wear no turban in there being gay. Where him get that there from? Fly your turban. Where him get that there from? You know, depend that. Them the days are done. You know, see it. Because you know says the one who named Paul, I come tell you say long hair is a shame. A man if you have no long hair. And the woman they must have them head covered. You know, abide by Paul or Saul, you know. The Rastafari. You know, follow them the things there. So it's full time when you want to look and say, yo, man, I'm wearing turban, him free. When I'm frying locks, him free. Yeah. Put the system in bondage. free them. Fly them locks, them free. So here your beauty. That's how we see it. So you have to look upon things a different way. So the divide not dead there. You look upon Ethiopians, them turban up. And then priests up. But I tell a man, say, yo, fly your locks. So, oh. Dip on that. So look on the things in the real time. And you just robe up. And you give eyes the same way. I never feel for robe up and you feel fly your locks. The same eyes as you give. So don't behave like church and state and come tell you, say you need to do this or you need to do that. So the chant can go up. I'm gonna look on for you. Play your turban. Burn that. Confusion. So we have made the thing and say, truths and rights prevail. And look upon the duties to be done. And the character of a man. And that's how you measure it, you know. Because we say if someone would, you know, set some certain way in himself and follow certain teachings and would not follow the teachings of His Majesty. You know, follow the word sound of His Majesty. You must follow what Him said to suit Himself. And there's some more semantics and them things they don't slow down. The gathering of the Rastafari mansion come on a point finger about that them on the dress and not them on the look and if you not dip on that. Now people are get sick, people are hungry, people need clothes to wear, people need them to go to school. So you go pull resources when you have a big divide. Well, the kingdom can come sit down and reason. Priests them can see the church called order. And if you have a big house, you have 7 priests and a high priest, Baba Shanti must come in and help build the priesthood. Yeah. And make the eyes chant up. And the prophet they must come in and tell you the things them set. That's the statical order going on. So how else they go? And stop the divide and stop the controversy. Because with this controversy and divide, Babylon knows. Them say, oh, the rest of them are fight against them one another, man. Them no divide, man. Them divide. You know, so the man them divide a quarter over this and a quarter over that and them do over one vice. You know, the one voice you want to know, man. The one voice you want to hear, man. Yeah, Rastafari. That's the voice you want to hear, you know. And you organize and centralize, but you cannot organize and centralize under division. You cannot have a collective security when you're divided. So it's full time. And to look into these things and try to fix them. A generation passed already. Couple of Haitians chat already. With for them ways and doings and you know, a different set of Haitians there around. Who look on things different. According to how they see it. We have to give them the Haitians the space. To grow. And to impart and learn. And to make appropriate changes for the betterment of the movement. Because the Asians who have passed had set a better situation so I know if you come through. And the bond change really don't take. So I know what have we learned from those who have gone before? What do I have to say? for the next generation to come. You can't put the next generation of Rastafari in a conflict here. That the house not talk to that the house, and that the money not talk to that the money because of basic or things and basic or in place set. But His Majesty don't change. And His Majesty not go change. You know. So we don't see it. So we just follow the teaching of His Majesty. You really know on time for the mix up and blend of business. You have time for sustainable development, you have time for welfare, you have time for food production. You have time for education. Yeah. They say Babylon back is against the wall. Rastafari is standing tall. So the options and the alternative have to be there. Rastafari collective marketplace, Rastafari food source, Rastafari educational centers, Rastafari auditoriums, Rastafari ganja business, Rastafari recording companies, individual own this and individual all that. That is good, yeah. Where is the collective in these things? Because you grow youth as Rastafari and come up, and say, well, then, where the work there? So right now, you have to find work, my youth. Or you create none, so what am I going to do? Go in a Babylon system and face abuse. And face rejection all over again. But the timeline is not match. So within this age of man can re-educate himself and step up, and barriers broken down, and he can travel, he can work, because of the ability, yeah, or get the opportunity. But you need to set a great opportunity for the collective of Rastafari. And you let the grounds be productive, let the tabernacle spaces be productive, So you just don't have a tabernacle space, you just chanting. Because the tabernacle is a physical place. We don't see that. I don't so come what to say, we don't know, say a man made that. Building it and building it to maintain. But now it's a living temple. I just see as a chapel. And I see him chapel. But the love come out. The goodness come out. The building can't speak, It's I and I speak. It's I and I chant. The building is a gathering place. Yeah. But defile the tabernacle space by bad behavior. You find another space. So you build an auditorium for conferences. We don't have no conference in the tabernacle space neither. It's a plate of ISIS. So you have different places for discussions and conferences and reasoning. The tabernacle is for chanting. You have a reasoning room, you have a smoking room. You designate areas. Just man can go. Because we learn from the Asians in the Congo. You don't chant, you don't smoke in the tabernacle. You smoke outside of the tabernacle. Because smoking room, or a chalice room, or a spliff room. And when you enter the tabernacles, physical tabernacle space, you're just chanting. To the eye was where you chant. And your reason was space there for reasoning. So it have a set. But that's right there. And if you don't set that the way there, if man of sight say I saw if you set. Problems are always dead there. And if the order's not set, or restore, or continue, Or take a page out of the next man's book. And say, yo, I saw it for set. And stop all hard end. So you over there, so me over here, so and every man for himself and the Rastafari for and all. Problem. So it's good to look and see what we have, what I have achieved, and what is going down. What we need to fix. Yeah, we give thanks to the Asian move step here, so some of them step early. Earlier than we expect, and some of them with a love. Their presence will be here, so we'll learn more from them. But the circumstances where they live in, them could have just endure but so much. And they leave young children and grandchildren same way, who is not in Rastafari. So it's only them one a Rasta. And most of them generation and the Rasta, so them the last same way. You can't tell them nothing. So you build a Rastafari community, you have a continuity. When you build Rastafari employment, you're sure the man's bread will be there, and shelter will be there. You can't say you're born Babylon, because we have our own thing. When you go born Babylon, you run a supermarket, and you run a shop piece, and you use Patsy. It no work. So we give thanks for the reasoning. And we give thanks to the insight. And we give thanks to the knowledge and know say it's a button change. And we learn, so we have applied knowledge. And we look on the whole thing and see how best it can be improved. Because I have children, I have grandchildren, them is Rasta. I don't want them to be abused by the system which is present. Yeah, I know. That's how he said. So knowledge and understanding are going to increase. So I productivity have to increase same way. So within the powers of the Rastafari and Empress Menin, and I glorify this time to share knowledge and to open more eyes and even thoughts. Things you could ponder and think you can say, yeah, we make a change, you know. Or we look deeper than even if we never inside it, we'll say, yeah, things have got set more better. Or we congratulate those who have still on the front line. And those who have cleared the way, or as the Asians say, who have paved the way. You come off of the gravel road and the rocky road, and you look on the asphalt road and a barber green road, and you say, yeah. But still, some pothole there where you need to fix, you know. Give thanks for the strength. Jah, Rastafari.